Look, I know it is school holidays at the moment and all that implies, and it can be a struggle, whether it be toddlers underfoot and trying to make childcare arrangements, or it's teenagers sleeping till 2 in the afternoon and just trying to get them to take the rubbish out. It can be a struggle. The struggle is real. Parents, I hear you on this one. In the meantime, though, it may be a case of Pink Floyd's The Wall. Hey, teacher, leave those kids alone when it comes to concerns about free speech issues in the classroom. There's a group of teachers, I'm not sure how representative they are, that are very concerned that some of the children in their classroom may have picked up some dangerous ideological ideas from the internet, and they've got into a bit of a huddle to figure out how they can clamp down on this. Joining me on the program now from the Free Speech Union, Jillaine Heather. Jillaine, kia ora. Welcome to the program.
Kia ora, Andrew. Thanks for having me on again.
Now, I can only vaguely remember as far back as when I was at high school. Gosh, I do feel sorry for my teachers, but having quirky ideas and testing them out and saying, hey, I heard this thing, and having robust discussions at a class, isn't that what high school's for?
Look, let me start off by saying that not only do parents have an incredibly hard job to do, but teachers do as well. And I'd like to acknowledge that up front. You know, they have an incredibly hard job. But speaking to your point, teenagers are literally programmed to push back against anything you tell them, new ideas. They want to find their own ideas and challenge anything. And I think that is actually a very, very healthy state to be in, and healthy for teenagers. So I was really bemused when I saw this article and heard some of the reporting on it about these bad ideas that the teachers are very, very concerned with in the classroom, because they just seem to be ideas that they don't like.
Yeah, it did seem to be that, really, and trying to hammer down what exactly it is that they didn't like. Some people were concerned that some of the students liked Trump, broadly describing their ideas as toxic masculinity. Well, it would be nice to have any type of masculinity in our secondary schools in particular, given the gender teacher ratios at the moment, representing my gender, just briefly. It seems to be ideas that the teachers personally disagree with is what they're trying to clamp down on. That doesn't sit right with me somehow.
Nor does it sit right with us at the Free Speech Union. Kids, minors, under 16-year-olds, they have the ability to hold their own opinions, political viewpoints, etc., and bring with their own ideas. And I understand if the teachers may not agree with the ideas, but again, I don't think the answer is to ask the government for help to change this. You know, I would, of course, encourage counter speech, engage with the ideas, you know, talk to them about it, bring this out into a learning moment, you know, get them to defend their ideas, etc., rather than turning to the government. It seems like a strange call out.
Maybe they should have got in touch with the Free Speech Union, actually, because I know you guys do some really good programs within high schools in particular, saying, hey, here's how we do counter speech. Here's how we do critical thinking. Here's how we, instead of shutting down the conversation, provide an alternative point of view. Perhaps not just for the pupils, but for the teachers, you could provide some training here.
Interesting you mentioned that, Andrew. We do. We've got a great program, Speak Up, which pushes directly into discernment, critical thinking skills, how to engage with ideas that you don't like, you disagree with. And it's all about not having a gotcha moment. It's not having a winning moment. It's teaching kids to think, to evaluate evidence, and how to engage with each other constructively in a way forward. So we would always go with our Speak Up program, but more education, community initiatives, media literacy, etc. I just don't understand when they ask the government for a response. I don't understand what they're looking for, and I don't think that's the right approach.
Maybe they just want some extra funding to be able to engage more with the Free Speech Union.
To pay for these discernment programs. I'm behind that 100%.
Exactly. And look, don't get me wrong, there are some ideas that are out there, and the internet can be a dark and dangerous place, and there are some things that young people can pick up from the internet that are problematic and do need confronting. But it seems like those that are concerned just watched the adolescence series and suddenly got all shocked and appalled and started to see problems where there weren't any.
No, exactly. There does seem to be a little bit of a trend being followed here. Of course, there are always going to be bad ideas out there, and social media and the algorithms, we know about that asymmetrical imbalance and power that these platforms have against the kids, but it's enhanced digital literacy, both for parents and kids. It's teaching them how to engage and evaluate, because I think they are becoming more critical now about what they're hearing and pushing back on it. But that's the route to go, not turning to the government in this manner. It's engaging the kids directly.
And hey, maybe that it happened at the same time that there's pay negotiations happening. I'm sure that's a coincidence, Jillaine. But there we
I couldn't possibly comment.
Exactly. Hey, for parents and also for teachers that are listening to this at the moment, perhaps a little bit concerned about some of the things that they're hearing, perhaps a little bit alarmed about some of the ideology and some of the things that children are repeating, what would your advice be to them? What's a better way to confront concern in this area, in your opinion?
So it's probably multi-pronged, a solution. At the very least, I think parents can look into, there are really good parental controls out there, both on the Android side and on the Apple side, which means you can really understand and limit what your child is looking at, or at least engage with them on it. And the other thing is actually you need to confront this straight on. If you know these ideas are out there, if you know they're discussing with it, set up a discussion, get other kids involved, engage them on it, and introduce them to why it might not be a good idea, and then also make them take the other side, right? Argue it from the other side and make them defend it, as well as protest against it. So it's not going to go away. We do need to lean into this space, but we do need to engage and push people on it. And defend good ideas, engage with bad ideas.
It sounds like a fun project for the rest of school holidays, actually. Let's pick something you're passionate about and argue for the opposite of it. Your time starts now. Hey, appreciate what you do at the Free Speech Union. Jillaine, thanks so much for joining us today.
Great. Thanks, Andrew. Have a good day.
Hey, thanks very much for joining us in the Rhema studio. Thanks very much for watching the interview. It's kind of nice to have an audience, actually. And if you did like what you watched, then do give us a like, do give us the thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more interviews like that one, or perhaps even better, subscribe and those interviews will come straight to you. Don't forget to turn on your notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.